The second day of the solidarity strike being held in Kaduna State has descended into violence after youths suspected to support the state government disrupted proceedings. Our correspondent Awal Ibrahim has the details.
President, can you talk to continue to address us?
These youths decided to attack just as the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress was about to make a speech. But the unions have not been deterred, vowing to press on with their 5-day warning strike in Kaduna.
The action went successfully. Yes, we will continue with our action. Yes, if they won't, let them kill us. Yes, but we are going to also inform all unions. Yes, and the next line of action is to activate the decision of what they said. Yes, that if this peaceful protest fail, we should then activate a national protest rally. That will be activated. We will consult our necessary organs, and that will be activated. Once again, solidarity. We cannot be defeated. Let them not forget. Whatever goes around, goes around. Thank you.
Things could be about to get worse. The Electricity Workers Union says if the Kaduna State government continues to intimidate staff, they will withdraw services across the country. That could lead to a nationwide blackout.
All of you to stay firm. We have just come. For those of us in the power sector, if by tomorrow or next nothing happens, we are ready to escalate it the whole country. We want to send a message to the chairman of Governor Forum. We want to send a message to the Governor's Forum, who was issuing statement yesterday, to inform him that if they don't inform, if they don't direct, if they don't advise one of them, that none of them will feel the pains of this industrial action in Kaduna.
See, we have ended the protest here in Nepal roundabout. Although some few young miscreants were employed to come and distract us, but we are not distracted. We continue with the process we have concluded formally.
Some of those living in Kaduna say they support the strike and the governor should listen to workers' demands.
In support of them. And now everybody's stranded. We can't do anything. You can't go to the bank. You can't get money. We can't get work. You can't get anything. Everything is standby. Maybe by next tomorrow now, everybody cannot come out again. We are feeling it. Everybody is feeling it. This country belongs to everybody. You understand that this country belongs to everybody. Please, I'm begging him to just to do a very reasonable as a somebody, and it's not going to be there forever and ever. Very short time is living there.
This problem, they ground, no money, hungry too much. You have to fight the trainers well. Yes, I'm going to continue like that. May no bring lights, may no bring water. I'm going to continue like that. If your mind turn down, make it come set to us go. Now, see where we go work. If pursue us come out, you know, give us where we go work.
Which work?
Now car wash we do. Pursue everybody come out for road.
How many years will you do car wash?
I don't do 20 years here. They do car wash. You come, you stay down a flower I put. So you no get where would they work. Still they disturb us.
But it doesn't appear Governor Nasir El-Rufai is going to back down anytime soon. He is threatening to sack nurses if they don't get back to work. Awal Ibrahim, Arise News, Kaduna.
All right, let's bring in the NLC President, WABBA, who joins us from Kaduna. Thank you so much for joining us on News Night. It really has been a long day for you, obviously. Well, the governor of Kaduna State says nothing will change in spite of your strike. As a matter of fact, today he's gone ahead to sack, university lecturers and nurses. How would you react to that?
Somebody that drives pleasure in inflicting pains on others. You recall that why we are in Kaduna is because 7,000 workers were sacked. Some have worked for 2, 5, 10 years. The law was not respected. And basically to come and say he's adding salt to injury, that is why we said we may escalate this action to a national level.
Certainly, I think he belongs to a government. There is a government in place. If laws are violated with impunity, as he's doing, particularly the labor law and precisely Section 20, I think he needed to be called to order. But where that does not happen, we will not allow the fundamental rights of workers to continue to be trampled upon. That's why we're here. And this action, as we said, will be 5 days for the first instance. And let me also try to correct the information. We are aware since in the morning that they have hired talks. In fact, we have shared the clips where the meeting took place and how the clip was recorded. And we informed all the security agencies. All the security agencies were informed that this is what will happen. And let me also tell you that before the attack, he came to where we are because the number was massive. We had about 6,000 workers, mostly those that were sacked in that protest. And he came back. Workers even wanted to follow we said no, that this is why we are here. And just in a minute, after he just left the place, the talks then follow. 2 of them apprehended. Not only that, because they were using stones, because of the massive number. While one was trying to run back, one was throwing stone. It hits the person that was actually running back, one of the talks, and he fell there. He was also captured. So basically, this is where we are. How can a government that believes in the rule of law undermine a constitutional provision which states clearly that workers, citizens, have a right to protest under the law without hindrance? What is only required is for security agencies to provide cover. So what goes around comes around. But this is clearly a crude abuse of power. And even in the military, these actions were not meted against workers, against citizens, and against labor. So basically, we are going to respond appropriately, and certainly our organs will be able to dictate the next line of action. But we will not succumb to his blackmail. But we will not succumb to his threats. We are also aware he has employed a lot of propaganda, including people that media houses will use to invite them. So we are aware of all of this.
Okay. Mr. WABBA, let me ask you this. Position of the government of Kaduna State indicates that the population of that state is about 10 million. And you have just under 100,000 people who work for the civil service, local government, for government generally. And the impression being created is these are minorities in terms of the numbers of people. So how can 100,000 people be the one that will determine what will happen in the state? How do you react to that?
Thank you very much. Let me put the facts across to you. The entire number of the core civil service is about 31. And therefore, local government have their funding and also other arms of government. So what I'm saying in essence is that he has reported only on the revenue accruing to the state through the federation allocation. But it's a known fact to everybody in Nigeria today that internal general revenue generated by the workers is 50.7 billion for the year 2020. So clearly putting this fact together, there is enough resources to take care of these workers. But in any case, if you want to sack a worker or you want to declare redundancy, the laws are very explicit. First, the law said you shall inform the trade union or the representative of the worker. That is Section 20A of the Labour Act. And the second one is that you must inform the union and the representative of the worker about the scope and reason for the redundancy. This has not been done. Not only that, if a worker have worked for 30 years, do you agree that the worker should be exited like a rat? Doesn't he have benefit? He has benefit. The law is that before you issue him sack letter, pay also his benefit. That is what labor is defending. Are you saying that those workers should be thrown out of job? Then do they have families? Then do they have dependents to take care of? Can't they earn a living after wasting their life working for government? This is the issue. And therefore, those figures and facts are mere propaganda. You can check what I'm saying, what they collect from FAC, and what the internal general revenue is. And I'm telling you as a matter of fact that in the whole northern state, Kaduna State received the highest internal general revenue. Not only that, in the whole federation, they are fourth.
All right, welcome back. We've been speaking with the labor leader, AYUBA WABBA, in Kaduna State there over developments in Kaduna. Yes, we're making a point before we went on that short break. And you're saying that, look, you're not going to be deterred by the governor's grandstanding. Now, the progressive governors are saying that there should be dialogue. Are you willing to dialogue with the Kaduna State government?
Well, all along our doors have remained open for dialogue. And you can recall, any state that we have had issue, the first attempt is to write to the chief executive and try to resolve the issue, which we have. All of this. And that is why this is like a matter of last resort. And the law allows for it. The labor laws are very explicit. They allow for strike because workers are not slaves. They can withdraw their services. So we are open for dialogue, but not dialogue of the deaf and the dumb. We want a dialogue that somebody will not come and say, well, it's a dialogue, but this is on a fixated position that this thing cannot be done. What are we saying? Workers are ready at any time because workers know that when you come into service, there is a way you exit service. What we are saying is that follow the law. There are clear provisions. I cannot work as a worker for 30 years. You just tell me with a letter, go. You are no longer required and your benefit will be paid in due course. 2-3 years, you are not paid. How do you take care of your family? This what we are saying is a fundamental right that is being abused, grossly abused.
Mr. WABBA, because of time, let's wrap this up by asking you. You have 5 days warning strike. After that, if the governor refuses to agree to having a meeting or anything, what next?
Well, the NEC have already taken decision. The NEC is the highest organ. This 5-day warning strike is for the first instance in the state. The next level is 5 days, a national strike and protest to also support the workers of Kaduna State. And you know what that implication is. And that is why we gave sufficient notice. See, workers are not slaves. This is that any right-thinking must sympathize with these 7,000 workers and the 21,000 workers sacked 2 years ago.
Thank you very much, Mr. AYUBA WABBA, President of Nigeria Labour Congress, and we hope that there will be a resolution very soon.